Hi, this is the review for the Investigation 2 partner quiz, which we're using to review for the unit test. The first question has to do with adding stuff, adding and subtracting decimals. So you should be able to do this without a calculator. Marie has 3 pieces of ribbon, so the big things that I would underline here are the 32 and 3/10, the 41 and 1900ths, and the 57 and 8/10. We add those all up together. That gives us the 131 and 2900ths. She has 200 centimeters of ribbon, so how much is she over or under? Well, our number is under 200, so we're going to subtract 200 minus 131 and 2900ths, and that gives us the 68 and 7100ths. So she is short or under by 68 and 7100ths. Question 2. A winter sports pass at the middle school cost $15. A student without a pass must pay $1.75 for each event. How many sports events would a student have to attend to make the pass a better deal? So there's a couple of ways that you can do this one. You can think about it trial and error, or you can do the math. So I thought about it as $1.75 per event, which would mean it costs $3.50 for 2 events. So if they only went to 2 events, the pass would not be a good deal because they're not spending $15. So I just kept going and saying $3.50 for 2 events, $7 for 4 events, $14 for 8 events. So $14 for 8 events, so far it's still cheaper for 8 events to pay individually and not use the pass. But when we get to 9 events, it costs $15.75. So it's definitely cheaper for 9 events to get the pass. So that's the cutoff, is you would need to attend 9 events for the pass to be a better deal. You could have also done this using division by taking the $1.75 for the price of a ticket and the $15 pass and dividing it. So $1.75 goes into 15 8.5 times. So you technically would have to go 8.5 times to break even. Can't go 8.5 times. So 8. If you go 8, you buy it individually. If you go 9, then you buy the pass because that's a better deal. All right, what we're looking for in this problem is to make sure that you really understand the place value with decimal multiplication. So they're telling you that you have 201 times 15 equals 30 and 1500ths. Well, that can't happen because we don't have any decimals. So they're asking you to put the decimals into the problem. And you can put them in any way as long as it works out right. How I looked at it is I said, well, the product is in the hundreds because I have 2 values after the decimal place. So if the product is in the hundreds, then my factors need to be in some form of hundreds. So you could do it in 3 different ways. You could say that 2 and 100ths times 15, or you could say 2 and 101 times 1500ths, or you could give each one 20 and 1/10 times 1 and 5/10. So you're doing it either way. You either give one of the factors both decimals in the hundreds, or you give both factors a tenth. So you either do a 100th times a 1, or you do a 10th times a 10th to get a factor in the hundreds. Same thing with the other one, or maybe here though, instead of doing counting decimals, you could just estimate. If my answer is going to be 30, then I know that I could do 2 times 15, since about 2 times 15 is 30. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You could figure out by doing tenths and hundreds, or you could just estimate, use the estimating way. And then 4, same thing. Pretty much the same thing. So factors are both in the tenths. So this one, the only difference is our factors, no, they're both still in the hundreds. So this one, the same thing, it's in the hundreds. So you can either do a tenth times a tenth, or a hundredths times a 1, or a 1 times a hundredth. And now let's do our secret word. Our secret word for today is connections, because tomorrow is a connections day. So we'll say connections was your secret word. Moving on to the second half of 4, 111 times 25 is 277 and 5/10. Here our answer is in the 5/10, or it's in the tenths, so we only have 1 value. So pretty much here all you can do is either add a decimal to the 111th or a decimal to the 25. So you can either get 11 and 1/10 times 25 or 111 times 2.5. Or again, you could have just estimated that since 2 times 111 would be 222, so you could put the decimal place there, either way. So that is the end of the partner quiz review. And remember, the keyword had to do with what tomorrow is in class, in school. Thanks.